Afternoon. I appreciate everybody jumping on and spending some time with us to talk about indoor track and field. March is always an exciting time in the entire athletics realm, and I think as our sports go, March really means the indoor national championships. And as we continue to prepare for this weekend's event, I'm really excited about the three individuals that are going to head down to Birmingham. I know the venue is very special to Trey Allen because it's pretty close to home for Trey in the high jump. Certainly Sterling Warner Savage has had just an amazing indoor season that has done nothing but progress throughout the last few weeks. And as we continue to grow that way, I'm sure he's confident and comfortable competing with anybody in the nation right now. So really look forward to watching Sterling get back in the starting blocks this week. And Gabby Leon is somebody that's just been battling all indoors. Every competition she's gone to, she's been in the mix and has been battling. The ACC runner-up is a prestigious award for her this year, just because it was arguably the most competitive women's pole vault conference in the NCAA. So, I'm really excited about those three students. They represent us at such a high level, both in the sport and, in the classroom and in our community. So with that, I'm excited to take any questions that you all have.
Dale, can you you talked about Trey and going, being, kind of a homecoming kind of thing. Is there anything that you do as a coach to make him kind of, it's a great thing, but yet it can be stressful too, or maybe kind of too anxious in a situation like that? Do you have to talk to him at all about, okay, you're home, you made it now you just have to do your thing?
Yeah, the great thing, Jody, is as we go about this, our coaching staff, really our primary role as we go to the national championships has as much to do with emotional management as anything else. At this point in the season, all of the work's been done. And these students are in a tremendous spot competitively. They're obviously amongst the best in the country at their respective events. So we're not necessarily trying to grow anything more in the athletic realm. Really what we're just trying to do is to help them manage the emotion of the experience and be able to react at the right time during the competitions. Now Sterling's competition is only going to be, less than 7 seconds long. So that's something that's all set up that he and Coach Miller will work through. Trey Allen's competition, the high jump will probably take, somewhere between an hour and a half and an hour and 45 minutes. So there's a lot more management that goes on in that realm. And then Gabby Leon with the women's pole vault, that's probably more of a 2.5 hour competition. It's going to take a little bit more time. So there's a little bit more, just emotional up and downs as we go. But I think as we get down into Birmingham, all of them will be excited, and our coaching staff is as well.
How do you see Trey as far as the competition in that one, in that event goes? I mean, as you said, it's no matter what you do at this level, the competition's great. But where do you see Trey kind of fitting in?
Well, I think once we get down there, there's definitely a couple of young men that you would, if you wrote it down on paper, that you would think are the favorites. And after you get through a couple of favorites, then really it's how does, each young man handle it on the respective day. The great thing about the high jump is, Trey's going to get 3 attempts at every bar. So, he has the opportunity to kind of fine tune things and find his rhythm during the competition. So just one miss isn't that big of a deal. We always have the opportunity to recover from that in the vertical jumps. And I think as the competition unfolds, it's just an opportunity for him to continue to build upon the history and the heritage that our men's high jumpers from the past have really established inside the program.
What about with Gabby and you mentioned the pole vault? It's such a unique skill. It's such a unique thing. And with her progression, you and I have talked about it on the shows before, but with her progression, how far has she come in your mind to this point right now? And what is that next step for her?
Yeah, I think when you really look at Gabby Leon, from the time she joined us, the relationship that she and Coach Raznick have built in the pole vault is tremendous. And that's a real big part of her success, is just being able to kind of look across the runway at an event coach and have great belief and trust and just faith in the relationship that she has with her event coach. And Coach Raznick's done a terrific job of that the last few years, but she's really grown from somebody that was a quality high school prospect. She was a good high school jumper, but when she's really developed into somebody that can not only be in contention and challenge this week at the national championships, but she's also somebody that really has the ability to continue vaulting at the next level as a post-collegiate. And that's what I think we're obviously looking forward to next year. Now, we don't want to get to next year before this year's over. So we want to set this up and give her the best opportunity to compete this week. And then we'll come back and get ready for the outdoor season as well. But I think the future is bright. She's been showing that she has the commitment and, the speed and the strength to really take things to the next level. So I'm excited for her in that realm.
And then my final question for you is with Sterling. I mean, what he did at the ACC and what he's done this year, he's, am I wrong that he's right there? Like there are other people jotting his name down at other schools saying, hey, he's one of the guys that we have to worry about and we have to beat. Absolutely.
And he should be on anybody's board in the top 8 if you were trying to predict the men's 60-meter dash. And these guys, it's all going to come down in the 60 to getting a great start and executing your race plan. Ultimately, when you really look at the front side of the race, the first half of the race is really important for the 60-meter dash, just because that's when everybody's going to be accelerating. We saw it this last weekend with the NFL Combine. Everybody's looking at the 40-yard times. And this whole field, at the NCAA championships in the 60 meters would shock people with what they would do in that realm. Really, truly talking about some of the fastest young men in the United States. And that's all just going to be something that comes down to, who handles the pressure and the stress right there at the beginning of the race and who gets off to a great start.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Bear with us as we transition here.